Hey, welcome back everybody. In the paint booth again today, trying to get a few things done on the CJ5. Last video I was looking for a passenger seat for this project, and luckily Bill, who's local to me, had a set of seats that he had been saving for years. These are out of a, I believe, 70 CJ5. So it has a different mount for the flip-up passenger seat. But on the later ones, they angled the seat back a little bit more. They were much more comfortable. And he had the passenger seat, and luckily he saved the driver's seat as well. And this mounts just a hair different than the original seat. But the good thing is we do have the slider mechanism, so this could go forward and backward. A luxury on these early ones, and that'll be nice for when Maria's driving. She likes to seat up a little closer because she's a little bit short. But these are the seats I'm going to use. I'll sew up some new covers and stuff for them. But thanks again, Bill. Appreciate you saving these seats for all these years, and they're going to go good in my project. I am starting on the clutch linkage. If you can see that red line, that's my center line of the where the tube goes through for the brake and clutch pedal. We're going to upgrade that as well. The frame, it just needs to have the steering box mount welded in, but I want to get this in because I got to weld that. The frame should be getting painted soon. The engine is off the stand and ready to go in. Transmission, transfer case, and overdrive I just got attached to it, and that's ready to go in. I want to get this kind of everything I have kind of condensed. And, you know, when they're exploded like this, they take up a lot of room. So I want to get the engine and drivetrain in here, drive shafts, steering finished, frame painted, and clutch linkage finished. If I have some time today, I'm going to start on that main, I don't know what you'd call it, that main mount for the cross shaft there. That was always a wear item, and I'll show you what it looks like when we go back in the shop. But lots going on. We're just going to have to pick away at projects as parts and time allows. But got to get a little bit done on this, and we'll head back in the shop now. Okay guys, moving along with the clutch linkage upgrade. Okay, most of you guys will recognize this piece. This is the bracket that is welded and riveted to the bottom of the frame, and your shaft that holds your clutch and brake pedal goes through there. On this particular Jeep, that was very hard to get apart. It was completely rusted in there and messed up. Here's a new old stock one. I just using this one so I can get dimensions off it. And I normally don't replace this if they're in good shape, but on this one I wasn't happy with that particular piece there. So I hope you can see that all right. That is the one that I made, and that is going to get a needle bearing in it, and then the shaft will run on needle bearings which will be greased. Now, these needle bearings you can get open on both sides, or you could get one side sealed. Here's a sealed one. I don't know if you can see that little yellow seal in there. So we'll put one in that way with the seal on the outside and the seal on the outside the other way, and And then I'm going to make a new brake shaft out of solid material. And then you'll forever be riding on a needle bearing, which will be much better than just the original setup. On this original setup, if you didn't almost grease that every time you ran it, you're going to get road junk in there, and that's just going to act as an abrasive, and before you know it, that gets worn out, and that's not what you want. So I've got this one welded and ready to go in. I'm not going to rivet it. I've got the heavy duty bolts there, 180,000 psi frame bolts. I'll get that welded in and bolted and welded, and then I'll put the bushings. I don't want the needle bearings in there with the welding heat. So I'll get that bolted in, and then we'll move on to fixing. See how wallowed out that is? I'm going to make a new one of these, and I think you can see the wear on that clutch rod. Now imagine you're sitting in traffic or something, and that breaks, and you got it in gear. You could potentially run into the back of somebody. You could be out on a trail and that can break and have a hard time getting home. From the very first day you brought your Jeep home, that's what was pulling the clutch lever. So it's just metal on metal, and they wear out. And over the life of your Jeep, if you drive it much, you'll change this quite often, this one rod here. There's no way to lubricate it. You can put some grease in there and it'll go away. And way back when, you saw me upgrade the linkage on the CJ5 Snowblower Jeep, and that had a T98 in it. This CJ5 has a T90 in it, and I'll show you how I do a T90. And I'm going to show you how I do it. And I just want everybody to know that I don't sell kits and I don't make parts for people. I'm going to show you how to do it. If you want to do it yourself, you can do it. If not, you have enough information where you could go to a local machine shop or fabrication shop and have it made for you. I do not sell them. I'm just doing this to show you a better way and a long-lasting way to put some clutch linkage together. So this is how far I got today. I made that probably a little heavier duty and nicer than it should have been. One thing that has to happen is the center line of your original has to be the center line of the new guy. So that's got to go up into the frame a little bit, because you want your pedals to be the same height. You don't want to miss when you put the body on. So you're always working with center lines. So center of this, center is center. So center of that is going to be center of the other one. And if you're doing it, make sure you get your centers right on the money. This one is ready to go in, and like I say, I'll get it in, then I'll knock the bearings in, and then I have this piece of 1" 4140, which I'm going to make the brake and clutch shaft out of. And this is going to have to be broken up into a few different videos, because it's just going to be too much and too long to do it in one. So for the first one, we got that made, and there'll be more to follow. Let me know if you're interested in seeing it. I got a lot of grief on that one that I built for the CJ5, so if you're interested, I'll keep going with it. If not, let me know, and we'll move on to other projects, and I'll show those instead. But anybody wants to see this all the way through, let me know. So that's all I have for you today, and as always, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.